This video tutorial is going to be about where to post in my big campus. When you first log into my big campus, you see a posting box immediately, and it says, "What's happening?" This is in your activity feed. Now, you don't really want to use this post for anything other than just like a status update. This is where you would say something like, "I can't wait for our field trip on Friday," or to tell someone you're having a bad day or whatever. It needs to be school appropriate, whatever you post. It shouldn't be mean. It shouldn't be anything that contains profanity or anything like that. Use your head. But that's all this box is for. You're not going to want to use this box if you're trying to send a message to your teacher. Now, there are other ways to do that. But this box is not going to show up for most people. They're not going to see it on their activity feed unless they're following you. And that's not something that we're really going to promote. So, to send a message to your teacher, you're going to want to either go over here to Conversations, or you're going to want to go to the group that you have that teacher for and post a message there. So I want to show you those things. Let's start with Conversations. When I click on Conversations, I get a place where I can type some messages, and there's a little paper pencil button. If you click that, you start a new message, and you can type in the name of the teacher you want to send a message to. I started with a first name there, but let's start with a last name, because if you start typing Mrs. or something like that, you're going to find a lot of people. So start with the last name of your teacher, and then make sure you choose the right person. There may be more than one person that comes up with that same last name. So I'm sending a message to Mrs. Hewitt here, and I'm going to type her a question like, "Mrs. Hewitt, please tell me if my rough draft looks good." Alright, and then down here at the bottom there's a little paperclip button, and this allows you to add an attachment to your message. So I'm asking her to look at my rough draft of my report. I can click on this button and then choose New File, click here to upload files, and now I can see all of the files that are saved on my computer. So I can choose a file. Let me just find something I can attach here. I can choose a file and attach it to my message. I have to wait for it to finish loading, so you can see right here it's loading. Now it's done, and it says Attachments 1. So I close my little X, and now I have a little red 1 but on my paperclip button that tells me that I'm good to send this message with that attachment, and then I can just click Send. And then Mrs. Hewitt's going to get my message along with this attachment. To me, this is a really important feature of my big campus, because I'm sure you've all had questions that you want to ask in class, but you're embarrassed to ask them. You're afraid someone will think it's a stupid question, or someone will make fun of you, or whatever. So you just don't ask. Well, that's not good. It's not going to help you learn. So here's a way that you can send your teacher a message. Nobody will see it. It's like email. It's basically private. Now, you need to understand that nothing in my big campus is truly private. If we need to go look at your messages because we think you're doing something you shouldn't be, we can. Okay, so keep that in mind. But most people will not ever see these messages. Right there, I had something pop up on my screen, and now I have a 1. That tells me that something new has been posted for me, and I can click on that and find out what that is. I have a new notification. So I just wanted to point that out while we were here. I'm not going to actually send this, but you make sure you click the send button to get that message to whoever you're sending it to. If I go back to my main page, I can go into one of my groups. Let's go into my academic team group here, and I can go to announcements or discussions, and these are other places that I could post to my teacher or to somebody I wanted to talk to. So I could open up a discussion here, and then there's a posting box here as well. Those are the two best places to post to your teacher. One final possibility is that you could click on that teacher's name to go to their wall, and once you're on their wall, you could post a message on their wall, and then they'd be sure to get that. Be sure to send me questions if you need to know more about sending a message to someone.